I don't think there's anything else to say about it except for to show you. Now, if we were, we got the, do you have any context to add to that where that kind of thing would work for you?
Context?
Yeah, places. See, I'm going to say you're a real shit starter.
I can think of a million places not to, but yeah.
Okay, so you're a real shit starter because I can see it in your eyes. You know? Yeah, that, right there, right there. You tell me that now you're not doing it. Do it again. Do it again. There, that's it. Yes. We can see that. That's the shit starter. I bet you're wearing, you're wearing boots that you could kick people with. You probably have actually kicked people with those boots, haven't you?
Last weekend.
Last weekend. What'd you do?
We don't need to talk about that right now.
So that, just so you underscore that, it's a truth disconnect. You know, it's one of the techniques. You're looking at somebody, you're telling the truth about what's going on, and you're putting something out in their behavior and putting that in their present mind. You have something to say about that?
I don't.
It's nice to hear you in stereo.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you brought it up, and I'm so very curious.
Are
Actually,
you?
I genuinely am.
Interesting. Yeah, it was more of a. I wasn't directly involved, but decided to get a little fun in.
See, I'm taking notes here. I'm finding out things about you. You'll notice when I leave this interaction, I'm going to back away. I actually, maybe kind of like this sort of thing.
Oh,
I'm going to sit here in a more protective stance because you're actually scaring me right now. And you got those pointy teeth too. I think that. I can see right now you're feeling it with your tongue, aren't you? You're like, yeah, pointy teeth. Probably have some like vampire fantasies or dreams going on in your life. Oh, that's good to hear.
So a great example of just teasing her, playing with her. And if you think about it, they're actually not talking about anything. You know that? You're just teasing her. There's actually no content here. It's just playing. You know, it's riffing off of the concept of her being a bad girl and of just kind of coming up with a whole bunch of stuff that would support that idea.
Yep, the effects that, here's another thing that's a bad girl about you. Oh, here's the effect it's having on me. And oh, I can see this other thing that's a bad girl about you.
And you know what's funny too is that, and we've seen this in a bunch of videos, is that the synchronicity part where like, you look like you would kick somebody's ass or something with those boots. And she's like, oh yeah, I did. How'd you know? Kind of. And we saw that with Professor Jack. We've seen that with a number of people, that when you start throwing out goofy shit, sometimes it just hits right on target, you know?
Yeah.
And you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, let's see.
Well, what do you think vampires are real?
Do you think vampires are real?
I don't. Do you?
No.
Have you ever known someone who thought they were a vampire?
Yeah.
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 So have I.
Yeah.
What is up with that?
It's a good question. I think I think for a while it was a trend. I think it was like in fashion to be like a vampire goth. The whole crow fanaticism.
I knew this girl who she'd be like, I spend about 25 hours a week doing vampire stuff with my vampire friends. Like,
what do vampires do?
I didn't ask. I was hoping it was like a role-playing game, quite honestly.
That's funny.
That maybe she's rolling, 10-sided die.
It's a great question, too, because it's one of those silly questions that's really pathetically stupid, but it's fun, and nobody asks her that. And that's what I like about it. It's like, when does she talk about this kind of stuff, you know? And then she thinks about it. She's like, yeah, actually, I do. That's come to think of it, you know?
Yeah, and I put to you that she actually does have vampire fantasies.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
So this is where we do like a switch, right? You're starting to feel there's a sense that the conversation is, we've done this part. So I'll say, well, what do you like to do for fun if you're not a vampire? Hey, give me the look again. You're doing it again.
What do I like
I can't even decipher it.
If I'm not a vampire?
Yes.
If I'm not.
I've had some bad experiences, and I just want to be careful.
Oh, that's funny.
Sure, you can respect my boundaries on that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm into quite a few things.
Oh.